while keeping your velocity vector just below the horizon line on the HUD. This will place us in a steady rate of turn to the boat while descending. If the boat is moving with 25 to 30 knots of wind over the deck, start your turn when abeam the white of the round down on the stern of the boat. Your descent rate should be 100 to 200 feet per minute, as indicated on the HUD above the altitude box. 90 degrees through this turn, your altitude should be 500 feet. Past 90 degrees of turn, your descent rate should increase to 500 feet per minute. Only use your increment for the first 90 degrees of turn. Don't keep it. Use your throttle to ensure that the boat better turn. Pitch and airspeed. Press spacebar to continue. As you roll out on the landing course line, acquire the improved Fresnel lens optical landing system, or iFLOLS, and match your glide slope such that the center light stays centered between the two green lines. If the light moves above center, you are too high and need to reduce throttle. If the light is below center, you are too low and risk a ramp strike unless you increase power. You will fly to maintain on-speed AOA while keeping the ball centered. Prior to touchdown, do not flare the aircraft, but rather let it fly onto the boat at ideally 750 feet per minute, as indicated above your altitude on the HUD. Press spacebar to continue. Before we give this a whirl, let's first set up the landing course line. Using what you learned in the TACAN lesson, set the TACAN to 74 X-ray and the carrier BRC of 350 degrees. This is the TACAN channel for the carrier, and it will provide us useful information to line up our downwind and final approach legs of the pattern. Set your HUD to show the radar altitude. To give us final notice when we should be passing over the wake of the boat when in the final turn, set the radar altimeter by your right knee to 370 feet by spinning the knob counterclockwise. Finally, set your left DDI to the HUD and your right DDI to the FCS page. Press spacebar to unpause. We are now flying a heading of 352 degrees and 349 knots and 1,900 feet. Fly through the gates ahead, which will place us at 800 feet and offset to the right of the boat. We don't want to directly overfly the boat, so we can first check to see if the deck is foul. Maintain an airspeed of 350 knots. Anytime you approach the carrier with the intent to land, you should do a hail R check, meaning check that the hook is down and engine anti-ice heat if required. Anti-skid switch is off. ILS is boxed on the HSI when ICLS is being used. External lights are set for daytime and rad alt set to the HUD. Cage the velocity vector on the HUD by pressing the cage uncage button on the throttle or press C. Lower the arrestor hook by clicking on the lever or pressing H. When at 1.5 miles from the bow, set the throttles to idle and follow the gates for a 180-degree turn into the downwind leg. The rate of turn will be based on a G that is 1% of this case 3.5 G for 350 knots.
Marshall 200, marking mops 19441, Angels 0.5, State 3.6.
200, Mother's weather is visibility 10 plus mile. Scattered clouds at above 10,000, altimeter is 2993. Case 1 recovery, expected BRC 354. Report see me at 10.
Tower 200, overhead Angels 0.5, State 3.5.
200, Tower, roger, BRC 354, signal is Charlie.